So welcome to session 2, and in this one, this is going to be more of an application of what we learned last time, and building on to that, and we're going to apply our previous knowledge by modeling out a simple table. So first of all, let's go ahead and choose the rectangle tool, click, and let's draw out a floor. You're going to click and type 3000 by 3000 millimeters. That's 3 meters by 3 meters. So we have this floor. Again, as I say, it's good practice to keep grouping whichever object you finish modeling. So rubber band, select this, and another way you can actually select this plane is by triple clicking. If I triple click, I select the whole object. So it's a quick shortcut that you can use to select things fast. So if I triple click that, I have that selected. Right click and make group. Now this is one group, and we can give it a material. Let's give it this red. It's too harsh. Let's choose that. Okay. Now we are going to draw another rectangle that is 1000. Click, drag out, and then type 1500, 800. Now choose your push-pull tool, click on that surface and pull that up by 40. So we have our tabletop done. Triple click. So once I triple click on that, I have this whole object selected. Right click, make group. Now I have this tabletop. Now again, I'm going to choose the rectangle tool, go to that one of the corners, click and drag out and type 50, 50. So that gives us the cross section of the leg, and then choose that push-pull tool, click on that surface, pull that up and type something like 850. Enter. Now triple click this leg, right click and group. Now because we're going to have 4 legs and they're all supposed to be similar, remember what we talked about, the components. This is a nice opportunity to use them. So instead of modeling each leg, we can just model one out and then have those duplicated. So choose this, right click on it and choose make component. Now that, click create. Now we have this as a component. Now to move this around, alright, before we move it around, let's make it a bit more interesting. Right click, choose edit component, and let's choose this. Let's choose this rectangle tool again and put something decorative within this. Push pull, click there. So this is once you click on a plane and push it to meet the other end of the plane and click, it just deletes out that section of the plane. So that's a weird leg. Now we have that. I've done this so that you can see how this effect works, how components actually work. So at this point, it's time we duplicated, made copies of these. So choose the move tool, this, or click M on your keyboard, and then click that corner and bring that. As you're moving this, you can lock it to that red axis by clicking on the right arrow key, and then click the control key, which makes a copy of that, and click. Now we have two legs. Now you notice that this one is facing the wrong side, so what we can do is choose this tool called the rotation tool, rotate tool. So once you click on that, you want to choose a point. Let's say this point. Now the way this tool works is that you have to choose the axis along which you're going to rotate, and then you rotate. Now we want to rotate this leg along the blue axis. So to get the blue axis, again, it's the arrow keys that deal with the axes. So try clicking on the left arrow key, up arrow key, and right arrow key, and you notice that the one we need is the up arrow key. Once you have that blue set in place, click on that point. Now it will drag out a line. Now this, what it's dragging out is like a reference point, like the starting point. So our starting point is along this edge, so we want to click along that edge, and then now we are able to rotate that. So let's type, we want to rotate this by 180 degrees, so let's type 180 and hit the enter key. And now you have it rotated right. Let's just move it in place with the move tool. Click that corner and place it. Click that corner and place it on that corner. Now we can choose this leg and choose that leg both at once, and then drag those to the other corner. But before you click and release, be sure to make a copy by hitting the control key, and now we have those copies taken there. Now let's select all these legs, right click and choose make group, so that now once we select one, we have all of them selected and they are within the same group. So now in order to edit any of these, you have to right click and choose edit group, and then there you can go in and make any adjustments as you need to. As you can see, since this is a component, whatever adjustment you make affects all the other components that are linked to it. Yeah. So what I want to do, I want us to right click, edit group, choose these two and push them in by 100. Choose these two, push them in by 100, and then choose these two and do the same. Choose these two and do the same. Now choose the selection tool and click in empty space. Now we have the legs and the tabletop. Let's select both, right click and choose make group. Now this is one object that we can rotate, because right now it's upside down. Let's choose the rotate tool again. Go to an edge and use those arrow keys to find the green axis and click again to choose the axis along which you're going to rotate, and then you're able to rotate by 180 degrees by typing 180 degrees and hit enter. Now choose your selection tool, orbit to the bottom of the table, and you're able to move this table to that surface. And now we have our table built out. And of course there are some things missing, like we could draw a brace right there. Click that, pull out give it thickness, triple click this to select this whole object, right click, make group, right click, make component, because we're going to make a copy onto the other side. And then we can maybe move this up. To lock it to the blue axis, hit the up arrow key and then use that as a reference point, and you have that edge. And then you can pull this out, make a copy by hitting the control key and then locking it there. Now we have a nice table. Now there are situations whereby you have a component. Let me rotate this first by 90 degrees. And by the way, you can also, just like moving, you can make a copy by hitting the control key. Also, while rotating, you can hit the control key to create a copy, as you can see, and you're able to achieve the same effect. Now we have this and this as components, so editing this edits all the other components, yet we have a smaller distance right here. So sometimes you come across a situation whereby you've used an element but you want it to be unique from the previously done components. So for that case, what you want to do, you want to right click on that element you want to be unique and choose make unique. And now once we right click and choose edit component, you notice that this component is now a unique component and won't affect the other two components, which is something to keep in mind. So we can bring this there, and then also drag a copy by hitting the control key again to make a copy right there. Lock it to the green axis by using the left arrow key, and you have that. Let's select all these four and make a group by right clicking, make group. And now you can also move a copy down, lock this, element to the blue axis by hitting the up arrow key and the control key to make a copy. And then you have a nice table. Now let's shade these objects by going again to the default tray and looking for the colors that we want to apply. And now we are able to, now it has shaded only this because this is in one group, but these are not within that group, so we have to color these independently. Now that is us having applied all the knowledge we got from the previous sessions, of course with a new things added to that. One tool I want to show you that is really sort of interesting is this, the 2-point arc tool and the tape measure tool. So first of all, let's first choose this table, right click and choose edit group, right click and choose edit group until we are at the point where we can choose each of these faces. Now let's get our tape measure tool. Once we click on a corner and drag out a line along the edge of, along one of the edges, let's type 75, and what that does, it has put a mark there, 75. From this point to this point, that's 75 millimeters. Click here, do the same, 75, and let's do the same for each of these corners. Now let's go to our 2-point arc tool, and now we can click on these markers we put. Click on marker 1, click on marker 2, and then drag out an edge until you see the word on face, and then type 20. And hit the enter key. Do the same here, 20, enter key. Let's do the same here, 20, and do the same here. Now choose the push-pull tool and click on that edge, push until you reach the end of the other face, and do the same here and do the same there. So this adds some interest to our table. Now that said, we have this rubber band. Select everything, right click and choose make group. Now we have our scene set up and everything modeled out quite well. At this point I want to introduce something called scenes. So let's imagine you like how this table looks from this angle, and it's the angle you're going to show your clients. You can go to this default tray and scroll down all the way until you find something called scenes, and once you get that, you can click this button, add scene, and then you can name this scene whatever you want to name it. A view 1. Hit enter. Now notice that here you have that view saved. So if you move from that scene for whatever reason, you can always click that and get back to that scene. And it's something that you're going to find very useful while using this software. So again, let's set up other scenes. Let's maybe set up also this scene and name it view 2. Let's also set up another scene here, and we name that view 3. So we have this, and this. So at this point we're ready to save out our first project, and the way you do that is by doing file, save as, and then you choose whatever location you want to save that. Name your file appropriately. And so now you have that file saved. Another thing that is quite interesting about Sketchup is that you can, these scenes that we created, you can actually make a video animation using these. And the way you do that is by going to File, Export, Animation, and then you can go back to the location you want to save and click this export button, and now it just loads that video up. And also the same goes for images. You can get images of these scenes by either taking a screenshot or by going to the view that you want to showcase and choosing File, Export, 2D Graphic, and then you choose the file type, let's say PDF or JPEG, and then choose the name of the file, my best scene, and then you can export that out as an image to show your client. So let's save this and review what we have done. So now this is where we saved our files. This is the image we saved out as a picture, and this is the video we saved out of the scenes for this table. So that's it for this one. Looking forward to the next one. It's only going to get easier as we go along.